Huoshenshan Hospital. Huoshenshan Hospital, Chinese, pinyin, Huoshenshan Yīyuàn, literally, Mount Fire God Hospital, is an emergency specialty field hospital constructed from January 23, 2020 to February 2, 2020 in response to the 2019-20 coronavirus outbreak. The facility is located near the Zhiyin Lake, in Caidian District, Wuhan, Hubei, China, next to Wuhan Worker Sanatorium, and is designed to isolate people with the 2019 novel coronavirus. The hospital will run under the jurisdiction and management of the People's Liberation Army after completion. A second field hospital, Leishenshan Hospital, using the same model opened on 8 February. Etymology. The name Huoshan, god of fire, named after Zhiyin, an important personage in Chinese mythology and Chinese folk religion who was known as ancestors of the Chu people, and Yan Emperor, a legendary ancient Chinese ruler in pre-dynastic times who was known as ancestors of the Chinese people. The name Huo, fire, is also related to the concept of fire, in wuxing. In traditional Chinese medicine, the lung belongs to the metal element, which governs the lung. As fire overcomes metal, the name conveys the hope that the respiratory infection caused by 2019 nCoV will eventually be eliminated. History. Construction of the hospital began on the evening of January 23, 2020 for a scheduled completion of construction on 3 February. In the initial stage, dozens of excavators, bulldozers and other earth-moving equipment prepared the ground. This was followed by the laying down of several layers of matting and concrete. The omnibus construction team was understaffed at the beginning, with many workers having to work 2 shifts, 12 hours per day. More workers were added, however, culminating with up to 7,000 people working around the clock in 3 shifts. A worker states that they started to work at 7 a.m. and usually finished working in the night. Sometimes they have to work overtime until 12 a.m. The meals were delivered to the gate of the site by construction managers, then distributed to workers by their supervisors. Workers usually immediately return to work after finishing the meals in the site. In terms of income, most of the workers earned over 10,000 yuan RMB for their 8-day work on the site. However, since they were quarantined for 14 days after they returned home, plus the time cost to Wuhan and back, the average monthly income isn't much higher than the normal construction workers, who usually get 8 to 9,000 RMB per month. The last brick was claimed to be placed on February 2, 2020. That day the People's Liberation Army, PLA, Air Force began airlifting medical personnel and supplies to Wuhan for the hospital opening, and the hospital proper was handed over to the PLA. Vice Premier Sun Xuanlan inspected the facility and equipment of the hospital on that day. The very next day, February 3, 2020, the hospital began accepting patients. The first person entered at 10 a.m. However, according to workers in the site, only Zone 1 is opened for accepting patients on February 3, Zone 2, 3 and Zone 4 are still under construction until February 7. State broadcaster China Media Group has hosted the streams from the construction of Huoshenshan and Leishenshan Hospital, which together had an average of around 18 million concurrent views on 28 January. Design. The hospital is modeled after the Huoshenshan Hospital, which was built in the suburbs of Beijing in 6 days for the 2003 SARS pandemic. Huoshenshan Hospital is built nearby the Zhiyin Lake. It accommodates 1,000 beds which spans over an area of around 60,000 square meters and consists of 2 floors. It has 30 intensive care units, medical equipment rooms, and quarantine wards. The hospital was built with prefabrication units for fast construction and installation works. The units were laid on pillars to keep them off the ground. Each unit is about 10 square meters and fitted with 2 beds. Each room is depressurized to prevent airborne microorganism from spreading out of the hospital. It also has specialized ventilation systems and double-sided cabinets that connect each patient room to hallways, which allows the hospital staffs to deliver supplies without the need to enter each patient room. The hospital is linked by a video system to PLA General Hospital in Beijing. Operation. The hospital is manned by 1,400 medical personnel sent by the People's Liberation Army, which consists of 950 people from hospitals affiliated to Joint Logistics Support Force of Central Military Commission and 450 people from medical universities of PLA who were sent to Wuhan earlier. The hospital also uses medical robots in its daily operation to deliver medicines and carry test samples. According to the reports by Caidian, there were 63 workers from Xiongtan, Hunan came to help with the construction after the construction was started. They all returned back to Xiongtan and were being quarantined by the local authorities on February 7 after all the construction is completed. 2 people were confirmed in NCOV among those workers as of February 14. Although the source of their infection is not confirmed yet, they believe they were being infected on the construction site, especially after February 3 when the Zone 1 was open while the supply of masks for construction workers was having a shortage. Those 2 workers also claimed that some workers had coughs while working.